This is old back yonder coming to you from downtown Falmouth, Kentucky, here at the Outlook office. I was thinking the other day, spring's here. Now what I really like about Kentucky is that we have 4 distinct seasons. I enjoy them all, but really there's something kind of more lively about spring. When the grass comes out, and I know we're never satisfied. Sometimes we'll say it's too cold or too hot or too wet or too dry or what have you, but it usually works out very well. Trees are pretty this time of the year, prettier than I've seen them for a while. I love to smell the grass. The grass has a certain smell to it, and also when you turn over sod, that earth has a fragrance that just can't be described. I love to see the little new foals bucking and kicking and carrying on out in the green grass, and I love to see the little, when the cows give birth to the little calf and the cows cleaning them off and licking them up like that, and there's just something about spring that's nice. Now, one of my favorite poets is a guy named Robert Frost, a New England poet. He wrote a lot of the poems he wrote is about country atmosphere. And one that he wrote is called The Pasture. And it's about a spring going out to a spring. Now, a lot of folks don't know much about springs anymore, but back then we didn't have bulldozers, so therefore not many ponds and not many lakes and what have you. And most every little farm somewhere or another had a little small spring on it. And every springtime you would have to go out and clean that spring out, get all the old leaves and the sticks and dirts and everything, because this furnished a lot of the water, not only for the cattle but also for people. And it's a little poem. I was an English teacher one time, and the students usually hated poetry, but if you think about it, every song has a poem in it. But I want to kind of quote this little poem that's called The Pasture by Robert Frost. I'm going out to clear the pasture spring. I'll only stop to rake the leaves away and watch the water clear I may. I shan't be gone long, you come too. I'm going out to fetch the little calf that's standing by its mother. It totters when she licks it with her tongue. I shan't be gone long, you come too. Very simple little poem, but a lot of ideas certainly are covered in that little poem. Just yesterday, another little thing I was thinking about, I have 2 grandkids, and they got their lambs for their 4-H project this summer. And they brought the lambs out there, and the little lambs were bawling and carrying on and what have you. And such innocence and such beauty and such calmness, I guess you might say. And I thought of something about lambs. When back yonder here learned to play the harmonica, my first song I learned to play was called Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now you might not believe it, it took me a whole month to learn to play that. If any of you are out there in the Outlook land, you want to try to learn either young or old, that's a good one to start, because it's very simple. It just has the notes and they're very close together. You might try that. And if you never catch on to that, you might think that every song has a story. It has characters, it has a plot, it has a conflict, and it has a solution. Now I'll try to show you that Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, Mary went, Mary went. The problem, everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Followed her to school one day, school one day, school one day. Followed her to school one day, it was against the rules. Made the children laugh and play. That's the problem. Laugh and play. Teacher didn't like laugh and play. Made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. The final result was, of course, the teacher gets all upset. You can imagine that. Kids jumping and carrying on, what have you. And I've often wondered what would happen in our society today if, I hope my grandkids don't do this, I hope they don't hear this, because I don't want them to get any ideas. I don't know what would happen if the little lambs would fall into school probably the SWAT team would be there, and I know the police force would be there, which it's necessary, not doing anything wrong. But anyhow, you would certainly have the news people there, and it would be total disaster. So anyhow, I would suggest that you don't go that far if you think about it. But anyhow, I wanted to tell you about a little story. This is the one that, when you talk about every song, has a story to it. And this one was written by a good old country entertainer, Leroy Van Dyke. He was a Missouri auctioneer. And it's about a little auction story. And it's about a little boy that didn't like school. And what happened was he diverted and took another profession, which went very well. And it goes like this. The little boy was from Arkansas. There was this little boy from Arkansas, and he wouldn't listen to his mom when she told him that he should go to school. Now, he'd sneak away in the afternoon, take a little walk, and pretty soon you'd find him at the local auction barn. He'd stand and listen carefully. Then pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer talked so rapidly. He said, "Oh my, it's do or die. I've got to learn that auction cry. I've got to make my mark and be an auctioneer." $25 bid, now 5, he would practice. $30, now 5. 35, 35, sold that hog for 35. So as time went on, he did his best, and folks could see he didn't jest. He practiced calling bids both night and day. Now his pap would find him behind the barn just a-working up an awful storm as he tried to imitate the auctioneer. Now his pap said, "Son, we just can't stand to have a mediocre man selling things at auction using our good name. I'll send you off to auction school, then you'll be nobody's fool and you can take your place among the best. $45 bid, and now 5, mama, 5, but it get 5, feed it, 5, but it get 5. $40 bid, now we'll get 45. Sold that hog for a $45 bid. So from that boy who went to school, there came a man who played it cool. He came back home a full-fledged auctioneer. And the people came from miles around just to hear him make that rhythmic sound as he tried to imitate the auctioneer. His fame spread out from shore to shore. He had all the work that he could do and more. And he had to buy a plane to get around. Now he's the best in all the land. Let's stop and give this man a hand. He is the best of all the auctioneers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Kentucky State Fair. We're selling the champion animals today. I will be selling a champion Rhode Island rooster, which would be a beneficial and an asset to any flock of chickens. All right, let's start, ladies and gentlemen. Now I got $1,000, now 2, 2,000, now 3, would get 3, 3, 3, 3, now 4, now 4, now 5, need 55 to 5, would get 5, now 6,000, now 7. 7 bid 7, who give 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, now 9, need a 9, need a 9, would get 9, now 10, do it again, 10, would get 10. Sold that rooster for $10,000. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know where my chauffeur is, but would you go get my Cadillac and bring it around front? This is full back yonder saying adios and happy spring.